god. Frog god. Are you going in the back door that he went in, or are you going back through the front door that you walked in the first time?
I'm not that smart. I'm just following him straight up.
Bellamere?
I got to keep somebody out of trouble. I'll follow with hiding if I can.
Okay. The two of you head in through the back door. You guys find yourself behind in a room behind the bar area. The colonel is putting his jacket up on a hook and such that he was wearing while he was outside on his walk. The door is creaking open. Gidney, are you trying to be cautious as you're opening it, or are you just kind of trying to follow at this point?
I think I would be cautious with his prompting of be quiet constantly.
All right, go ahead and give me your stealth check one more time then. Unless you've got something else that, yeah. You gingerly start pushing it open, and you see that he's in the room right there. And so you pull up short of throwing the door open, and you can see him putting the coat up and such, and he's muttering to himself, "Strange folk, what are they doing around here? Keeping eyes out. They're following me." He's kind of just mumbling to himself as he's putting things away like that.
Turn to Bellamere. I think he knows. Did we win?
Maybe. But maybe we should back off, okay? Let's play it again later.
Did I win?
Come on, let's back off.
But did I win?
I'll get you a rock. You won.
Okay.
So we're going to go and back off and head back over to the half-orc camp.
Okay.
Like
as you begin to approach the half-orc camp, you hear a deep, sonorous noise, repetitive. The tents in the area shake a little bit as it goes through, and it takes you a minute to realize it's Thorad snoring.
I don't know if I did that at all well.
That was pretty reasonable.
Cool.
I run in to figure out what the noise is.
Bear!
And then I just stare at it for the longest time.
As my beard, moves with every snore, because I'm snoring so loudly.
Yes, it's a very cartoon-like, snore and such that's going on.
And you want to know a secret? If you put one finger in each nostril, it'll stop.
Really?
And then I walk away.
Gnome's got to do what a gnome's got to do. I plug his nose with my fingers.
As I wake up, I grab my axe that I had stowed underneath my pillow, makeshift pillow, and I pull it out, and I'm come within about half an inch of his face.
You grab Gidney's arm instead of your pillow, or instead of your axe below your pillow, and start swinging him around a little bit.
Whee!
I look back and say, "Told you so. Now let's find a place to sack down for the night."
Do it again!
I drop him after swinging him around a couple of times. What should you go doing that for?
Make the noise stop.
What noise?
The noise from you.
I was asleep. Wasn't making any noise.
Aha! Big noise. Sound like dying bears.
Look here. I, Thorad Uthanar, son of Arterix, do not snore. Understand?
I don't care about your family, but you make noise like dying bears.
Well, that's
horrifying.
Look, you made a mistake. It wasn't me. I certainly do not snore.
I put this finger and this finger in each nose, and the noise stopped. It was from you.
Completely coincidental.
You need to come over here and you need to put your bed rest down. Your bedroll.
But they need to know about the noise they make. It's unnatural.
Sometimes dwarves do that. It's okay.
Really? Didn't sound okay.
We'll talk about it more in the morning.
Be better.
Did the elf put you up to it? No good.
He helped me.
And I look at Bellamere, and you wonder why dwarves and elves don't get along. Sometimes.
Maybe.
I go lay down next to Bellamere. I can't sleep though. That noise, man, it's just going over.
Go back to sleep.
All right. When are you guys
Put
planning
a face
on
guard
waking
down
out?
so he can't stuff my nose.
Sleeping in a full helm.
Yeah. Yep. I can't even do the snore that I want to try.
You can't sleep in the full helm because when you fall asleep, then it just reverberates that snore right back at your ears.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, and it keeps waking me, so I'll get rid of the helm. Got it.
When Thorad and Krieg, everybody's going to sleep fairly early. For the two that just got back, it's about 5. Thorad and Krieg, you guys have taken a couple naps over the past couple hours, basically, of getting some sleep.
Sure. At this point, if it's getting dark, I'm going to get up and strap up, get my gear on, put my chainmail on, and I'm going to basically stand watch over the encampment in here.
Okay, it's a couple hours till dark, but you can do that when it gets dark if that's what you want.
Yeah. Until then, I'm gonna basically try and get as much rest as I can, so I won't be fatigued.
Okay.
How far is the river from here and the hill that was mentioned? Is there a hill near the river?
The river's a bit away from camp, and it's flatland between here and the river.
A bit from the camp. So is it a hour walk, a 30-minute walk? What is it?
It's a little more than a 5-minute walk, I'd say.
To try and kind of get a lay of the land, I want to walk and kind of check that area out while there's still daylight. With the rumors of the mist that comes in off the river and that hill that seems like it may be a focal point, I think I'm going to go or at least I'm interested in going and checking it out while the sun is still up. Maybe kind of get a lay for the land. Thorad, you want to go with me? These two seem to have exhausted themselves.
Yeah, let's go.
Alright, so you guys are going to head over towards the river for a bit, and then head to the lake to the nearby hills.
Yeah,
Yes.
to to the nearby hills.
Kind of get a lay of the land.
West.
Maybe a little bit more difficult to see after nightfall.
Alright. You guys head off towards the river, and it's a fairly easy walk. There's a solid trail that is beat between the camp and the river. Part of it, for a lot of the way, it would be closer to a road that is joining roads that are coming out the southeast and the south side of Bard's Gate on this side of the river. And so there's a road that runs right through the middle of the tent city, connecting those. And then that road ends when it enters the city, and that's right by the river, just about 200-300 feet away from it. And so the rest of it's just a little trail that's been beaten down. There's a purple rock for you, Pex. And so it's very easy traveling. You guys could probably hustle it, in 2 minutes without a problem. Walking at a leisurely pace, it's about that 5-minute walk. The ground around Bard's Gate here is fairly flat. There are some very significant hills that on the other side of the river, part of town is in fact built on one hill. And then beyond town, there's a lot of hills, which those of you who are somewhat local to the area, that's where a lot of the trouble comes from. That's where gnolls and such live. But on your side of the river, to the south, there's some gentle hills. It doesn't really get to rough terrain, but there are, rolling hills, basically.
Okay.
And so those are, probably about 20 minutes walk south. Puts you, on that pretty well.
I actually, since we're getting a lay of the land, I want to go and check out the river because, water and they're talking about how we're getting mists coming in and fog and such. And, it's a water source. I want to find out if there's anything odd about the water source at all.
Sure.
Yeah.
You
Stay
head
real
down
close
there.
to the water.
Hmm.
You guys head down there, and there's a couple of people fishing from the bank and such of the river, and you guys come up to the water. What are you wanting to do while you're there?
Well, I want to, like I said, look around the water line, see if it looks normal and all. Um, I don't really have much in the book knowledge department on that kind of stuff, but if it's
Well, your lore of war tells you that this is not a river that is currently soaking with the blood of its enemies.
yeah, but the tide of it, does it look like
Bless you.
basically it's bless you?
Thank you.
Does it look like it's had that it's flowing well? Is it recessed at all? Basic information on that.
This is I'm picturing, and yes, I can tell you're loading. Oh, I see you've connected. That's amazing. Um, it is a time of year where the water is starting to recede because it's spring late or in the springtime. But it's just at that point that it's just starting to recede, and so the banks are still fairly swollen with water.
With the water line receded, I want to be checking around. I don't know if investigation would help with this, but I want to see if maybe it's exposing any kind of like cavern system or anything that might normally be uh, flooded with higher waters.
Sure. Let me look. Let's look at. Bellamere even got to select his character. That's awesome. When you look for clues and make deductions based on those clues, you can make an intelligence check. You might deduce the location of a hidden object, discern the appearance of a wound, and what kind of weapon dealt with it, or determine the weakest point in the tunnel. So I think this is probably going to be more on a nature or a perception.
Hmm.
That if you
Oh,
were surveying the area for that.
I can do a
that's
perception to see
yeah.
if
You
I can
do
find
perception.
anything. Oh, I don't need that. So yeah, I'll do a perception roll to see if I find anything. Oops, wrong
Should
button.
also
You're
my
welcome to, by all
perceptions.
means.
I did
My
not roll well.
perception is awful.
Yeah, I rolled below my
My
passive perception.
investigation is nicer.
No, you guys don't see anything. One of the guys, people see you looking around, and one of them, is reeling up and such, and walks over to you. What you looking for?
Been hearing about some strange things that may be going on, missing people. I didn't know if there was any kind of are there any kind of stories or rumors about the river here? Is there any kind of subterranean tunnels or river tunnels, anything like that?
You, you thinking about some sort of smugglers tunnels out here?
Uh, I disengage
Not
and
that.
move away from him a little bit, try and disassociate uh from Krieg while he's talking about this. I don't know what
Sure.
he's talking about. I'm just looking for a fishing hole.
Not smugglers so per se, just wondering if anybody, who where's some of these demi-humans keep going missing, and there could be good money in trying to solve a crime like that. I gotta stay stocked in wine.
Well, I haven't heard about nobody going missing or anything, but uh, I've heard tales of some caves that are up, but that's over on the north side of town. I don't know if it's true or not, but they say that leading in under the hill that there's some caves there that people used to use for smuggling. Down here though, I've never heard anything. There's a ghost, but she's more by the crossing, just a little ways north of here. Um,
You froze. There's a ghost, but she's more down by the what?
I
she's
don't.
she's uh she's up near the crossing by the bridge.
Oh, well, that seems interesting.
Yeah, she's supposed to have
Well,
been here since before, before they really built the city, that she's been here as long as people have ever come to Bard's Gate. But I ain't never seen her. People tell stories. Those are the ones that I know about the river. Oh, and watch out if you see purple frogs. But I
What are
think those
those?
people maybe. Well, there's stories about purple frogs coming and taking people, but I think maybe those people have been, tipping a few back or something worse than that.
All right, purple frogs. Purple frogs and a ghost. Okay, keep that in mind.
And so the stuff that he's talking about, purple frogs, he didn't give you an area for, but the other things, he's pointing to within the walls of the city as he's talking about it. The bridge crossing is in the middle of Bard's Gate, and the hill is past that. So that would be
Oh,
a good
inside the
ways
city.
from here. Yep.
I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just looking for a good fishing spot. And so I would have disengaged because I don't really want to associate myself with looking into this right now out here amongst these
Okay.
people.
What kind of money? What kind of money's in solving something like that?
I don't know. Someone's gonna have to pay for that, right? Isn't somebody gonna be happy that the demi-humans ain't going missing?
Well, I'd imagine so. I've always thought that maybe I could stumble upon riches one day. I'm always keeping an eye out. Maybe I'll fish some up someday, huh? You think that's likely? Hey, that's my fishing hole. I came over here to talk to you guys. He bustles off after Thorad. You don't even have a rod.
Who needs a rod to fish?
Well, to cast into the stream. What are you gonna do? Just tie it off to your toe?
No, got me a
He's
battle
gonna
axe
he's gonna walk into the river and grab him.
and a net.
I heard dwarves can't swim.
Yeah, but I can walk. And I got a net. Got me a net.
You're gonna scare them all away. It's not good fishing here, anyways. I'm just killing some time.
Name's Thorad. You're
I'm Cal.
pleased to meet you, Cal.
Nice to meet you as well.
New in town, and well, it looks like getting into the city itself is going to be a bit of a chore. So I figured I'd come fishing for some dinner. It's almost
Well,
nightfall.
that's the reason I'm not too much further out. I just came out after a day of work. Figured I'd get in some relaxing casting. I don't expect to catch much out here. Sometimes you'll get some from this spot, but really the fishing. And he starts pointing downstream and lists off a couple locations. Those are places you can get some from the bank sometimes. Some of them have a little pier or something to put you a little further out so you can cast in.
All right.
But the best fishing, I mean, that's going to be in a boat on the river itself. That's going to get you the most chance of catching something noteworthy.
Well, thanks, Cal.
So you one of them stone huts?
Yeah, from up in the mountains.
Yeah, that's what I figured. The Stone Hot Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
What are they like? They cold?
Well, kind of cold. Not that bad though.
Yeah, I like the warm weather. I don't think I'm gonna go to the mountains.
It's not that cold.
So he'll talk to you guys for a while.
Okay. As he's talking, I'm going to gently fish for information. Like, is he local? Is he living in the tent city? Is he living inside the city? Because he's talking about how he just got off work. What kind of work does he do? Stuff like that. I want to just kind of casually bring it up in conversation, when it's appropriate.
I'm a
And
laborer.
I've got wine with me, so I start passing out drinks.
Oh, you are a popular fella. He tells you that he's a laborer. It's not really something that it pays enough that he survives, but it's not yay, I want to be a laborer. And so he's getting up early in the morning to like load wagons and such that are going to go out on deliveries. And he does a few different odd jobs as a laborer throughout the city. Some days it's he goes out just kind of like the I'm a pair of strong arms, take me. Other days he's got people that'll use him on a regular basis.
Does he have wife or kids?
I got a girl I'm looking at, but I don't know. I don't know if I could support another person, let alone little ones.
Mm. Well,
Life's
maybe.
expensive.
Well, maybe you should go apply for some work at the Merchants Guild. They're looking.
Yeah, but they all like want an education. I'm not hoity-toity like that.
Always use guards on a caravan. You said you'd hope to travel and stumble on riches. You could always guard the caravans. You look like you're an able body with a strong arm. You know how to swing a sword?
Up and down?
No,
Like this?
no,
And he
no.
uses his fishing rod.
I'll pull out my axe and I'll show him how to wield an axe.
That's a whole lot different than axes I've seen. They're like small little things that people use to break some timber on.
Well, this is a battle axe. This is
He gives a low whistle that he's obviously impressed by your battle axe.
I ain't got no sword with me to teach you with, sadly, so you're gonna have to learn how to swing a weapon with this today. But
I couldn't even afford a sword. Those are expensive. They're all metal and stuff. This looks like it's probably more affordable. I mean, you got a bunch of wood in there.
Well, there's also a lot of metal too.
So yeah, you guys, can talk to him for quite a while, by all means.
I want to try and get back, before it gets too late. So whether I'm getting back before it actually gets dark or shortly after dark, I'm going to, turn to Krieg and say, looks like fishing's gonna only get worse as it gets dark. I think I'm gonna head back into town. What about you?
Yeah. Let's go wander back that way. Gotta refill the wine.
I'll tell you something. If you're only coming out this far, it's better dawn fishing than dusk fishing. They bite a little bit better at this part of the river in the morning. I'm just always busy in the morning, so I don't get out.
Thanks for the information, Cal. I'm actually gonna give him a couple silver. I still haven't done my micromanaging of my gear, but yeah, I know I have plenty of money left, so I'm gonna give him a couple silver. Look, just to help you get you on your feet. Maybe it'll help you towards your first sword.
His eyes, are kind of big, and he's like, "Wow, thanks. Do you need anything? I can carry pretty good."
Just keep an eye out. If you see any trouble, I'll be over there, and I'll point out where in the tent city I'll be hanging out. Maybe you can come on an adventure with us later. Who knows? But you go take good care of that girl of yours.
He looks at the coins and he smiles. I'm gonna take out to dinner.
Good. Okay.
He packs up his rod for the night and starts heading into town.
And thanks.
He begins singing a song about the generosity of dwarves. Cool. You think that it's probably repurposed from perhaps a different song that has a different meaning of dwarves.
Noted.
Knife goes chop, 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 chop.
And so yeah, you guys spent a little bit more time at the river than expected. You guys head back in. Bellamere and Gidney, you guys have just been napping on and off like the other two were earlier.
I would have gone outside to sleep as soon as those two left.
That's where they were. They were all sleeping under the sun.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were in the hut thing.
No, they were just kind of sleeping in the shade of a tent.
Gotta see the stars, man. It's unnatural.
You guys come on back. The other two are napping. Gidney makes adorable little noises that, unlike the deep sonorous snore, it's more the that his mustaches are like waving in it and all. Do you want to go stick your fingers in a kidney, Alice?
No, I really, really don't. Though I'm tempted to uh, take the basket of his rocks and all, and I'm gonna pick out a couple rocks, and I'll just like lay them around him like they were, like a dollhouse kind of playing around, and I'm gonna make him think that when he wakes up, maybe that he thinks that they've been alive and they've been, Toy
Do
Story.
you get the ones that have faces on them, or do you get the ones that are just still rocks?
The ones with faces on them. I'm gonna Toy Story him.
Okay. And so yeah, the sun goes down. Mama Bobo's camp, they have a fairly meager meal, but they invite you guys to it. There is some general festivities that they do as they tell stories amongst each other and such like that. Lolly, who was dancing and such at Gidney's music, invites you guys all over.
Yeah, I'll head over.
We don't have that much, but by all means, you're welcome to enjoy what we do have. And she introduces you to a lot of different folks, and it's not just the ones that are in this grouping of what is it, 3, 6, 7, 8 tents. Other half orcs from around the tent city come here and have that evening meal and such. And so you guys see a lot of different people. Unlike the general image of half orcs that they're all burly blockheads. Not all of them are super strong or anything like that. Some of them, there are only hints of their orcish ancestry. Others have very strong features, the green and the gray skins and the pronounced tusks. Mama Bobo does not come out during the festivities and such at night, but as things begin to wind down, there is the warrior woman that greeted you, and she's been around through a lot of the day, but hasn't talked to you guys all that much. And she comes over and tells you guys that Mama Bobo will see you again.
Okay. Before that happens during the festivities, I actually want to find out if any of the people attending these festivities have had family members disappear.
Several of them do. The most common one is Corneliu, or the most recent one that has disappeared. And he's a regular in the Wanderers encampment.
Hmm.
And but others of them do nod and such that they have had people disappear. It gets a little more somber when Thorad starts asking questions like that. Thorad, are you trying to do it on the sly, or are you just trying to be dwarfy about it?
I'm a little bit dwarfy about it in this case.
Okay. And so yeah, the mood sombers up a little bit, and people start to tell stories about the last time that I saw this person, the last time that I saw that person, um, and all. As you guys are listening to the stories, Krieg can go ahead and roll me that investigation that he was talking about. Other people are by all means welcome to as well.
When
Yeah, I'd like to go and find out, as I'm listening, I'm going to go and kind of ask about what's going on in town. Is it the same there? Do us folk get treated in the same way inside the city? Or is it something that's just kind of local here? And, how did they get to be here?
I don't know what it's like in the city, Lolly says. I've never been in there. This is home out here. I can't afford to pay for my way to get in there. It's expensive. You have to pay the gate guards to go in every time. It's a tax that they tell you that you have to pay.
when they were sharing stories, when they're sharing stories, Thorad will explain. Well, you gotta keep those stories close to your heart, because that's how you keep them alive and keep them strong. Wherever they are, they're fighting, and you have to keep remembering them, and that way we can find them. Uh, and I'll go into this long story of war, and how this in a unit that I fought in up in the Stoneheart Mountains, that I lost one of my best friends to the Knoll attack, and everyone had given up on the man, but I didn't, and we went. And we went and searched for him because, I refused to give up on him. And as the time went on and fewer and fewer people looked for him, eventually he found us, and he said that it was that little bit of hope that he could feel that we hadn't lost hope. And so, I'll tell a story like that, and I'll try and basically give them hope despite it being somber.
Mm-hmm. So, Krieg, I'm sending you a message there. They go ahead and give me your performance, Alice. Let's see what that's like.
Sure. I don't have a performance. I did not take performance as one of my things.
Well,
but
you still have
wait,
it.
I don't need. I don't need to roll those dice. I can roll these dice. Not that great.
You don't move them or anything, but they listen at attention. You definitely don't sway the crowd or anything with what you have told them.
Okay.
That's what you notice, Krieg, as you are kind of paying attention as this conversation develops over the course of the evening.
Very interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I'll mention that it seems like, based on what you're describing, that the people who have gone missing are seem to be quite fit, like good, strong laborers, but they seem to be coming from almost a group of people that others may assume would be dismissed and not missed in the general public eye, demi-humans and some of the more poor of the human races, and it doesn't seem as if any of the elderly and the feeble are being taken. It seems as if maybe they're being I would assume maybe taken for some kind of hard labor somewhere.
And are you talking about this amidst your group or among the camp?
The group and camp, yeah, everyone.
Okay.
Well, I dare them to come after me. They ain't gonna like what they find. Maybe we should use me as bait.
Yeah, you're fit. Oh, heck. I bet we all fit the bill for what they're looking for,
As you guys look over at Gidney.
Well, maybe some of us.
Well, I look to Krieg. You don't fit.
He's Krieg is
I'm
actually
a nobody.
He's human.
Yes, but I'm a nobody. Nobody knows me. I don't have a name. I don't have a crest.
Yeah.
No one depends upon me.
They seem a bit racist. Seems like they are unlikely to take you. Maybe we should try and use Bellamir and I as bait. What do you think, Bellamir? Want to go fishing?
Well, we could go fishing, or we could go and set up camp on the outside of the outskirts of the area here.
Oh no,
I think
mean
that's
fishing
the fishing
for,
she meant.
Yeah, I meant fishing for.
He meant.
Kind of like hide and seek.
Yes.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yes.
Know what I mean.
Hey, where's Gidney?
I think he's trying to get some good berries.
I'm still asleep.
He's still asleep. He's been posting, still asleep, still snoring as we are going through. So that's what I look around.
Yeah, we haven't heard him freak out about his rocks yet, so he's definitely still asleep.
Gidney's never been one to miss a free meal, especially when it's weird meals to him. I'm gonna go look for him. Maybe they took him, and I'll start looking around the camp for the sleeping gnome.
Well, you know exactly where he was sleeping.
Okay,
you
sure.
apparently went through his sacred basket of
That's
rocks.
True. Yep. Hey, Gidney, wake up! You're missing the food.
I get up and
Rocks fall over. Where? Your rocks, your piles of rocks fall over and clatter as they were around you and all.
My eyes widen freakishly, more so than my normal widened eyes. As I pull out my my casting implement thing, which is like a wooden pine cone wand thing, and I start casting attack spells at my rocks that have moved.
Okay. Pew cantrips. Hey Gidney, there's food.
Gotta get the evil out! Gotta get the evil out!
What evil?
They moved on their own.
Ah, okay. Well, you want me to fix you up a plate? Do you want it really spicy again?
No.
Okay, no spicy. Got it. I'll go fix you a plate. You go get the evil out.
So are you just casting produce flame at them over and over and over again?
Yes, I am. I'm burning the evil out.
Gidney is bringing down a flame strike on a pile of rocks that he's kicked into a circle. And then he places druidic runes around it and goes... and then he goes and joins for dinner. So his nice toasty rocks are in a circle of druidic protection, and then he's going to go get some food.
Okay. Like I said,
it's been a long day.
I'm going to make up a plate of food for him.
That's more, bowls and such as it's a soup, and and so yeah, the evening passes with you guys, telling stories and such like that. A lot of it is, since Thorad moved us over to being a bit somber on memories of those who have gone away and disappeared. But because of that, Krieg got some good information about the types of people and such that were disappearing. And then as the night goes on, the guard woman comes up, and like I said, she goes, Mama Bobo will see you again.
All right.
Let's go see Mama Bobo.
And so yeah, she goes over to that central tent and holds the flap open for you guys, and four of you pile into the tent, and there's the old, kind of older half orc with the really bad teeth going in different directions and such. And so she looks at you, and she seems more tired than when you saw her earlier today. I've divined the future for us, for you, for our lost brother. I think they come again tonight.
Where?
The fog will roll in, and the horn will sound. Then they will ride in from close to the wall, and they will ride away to seek security after they have taken more of us. There are many more than you that have come, from what I have seen.
Well,
so by the wall, is that towards the city then?
I saw a wall behind them from when I looked into the future.
Well, it sounds like the wall of the city. Let's
go camp out there.
Yeah.
And Gidney and I can hide nearby and watch as you guys, kind of stand out there fishing to see if you are caught in the net.
But Mama Bobo, how many more of them are there than us?
I saw many come riding in.
Well, let's find ourselves a place on the edge of the camp then, but not out in the open.
Yes, let's see if we can ambush them and see if we can
in the direction she's saying. Mm-hmm. And maybe even, let's go and find some sticks or something and put some ropes between them. I mean, it'll be hard to see in the dark, is what I'm hoping.
Will we need ponies to catch them?
We're trying to stop them from hurting others.
We need honey. Lots of honey. That's where we need to catch them.
But you said they're riding in. Don't we need to ride in to catch?
Do you have a pony? I don't have a pony.
No.
No, but we can.
Maybe later we can get ponies. In the meantime, I think we need to figure out how we're going to stop the. How do you stop a pony? If a pony came in your forest and you wanted to stop it, how would you stop it?
With fire.
Okay, so how do we set up fire to stop the ponies?
I got it. I hold up my finger. I show him with my cantrip spell.
And fire rocks.
Dun dun. Fire rocks. Yeah. So let's go and see if we can set up some sort of. I don't think we have enough time to go and dig trenches or anything like that to go and stop horses. So let's go and see if we can set up a couple of tripwires.
Well, and remember, we need to be able to. We need to follow them back to their lair to free the ones that have already been taken. We can't take them out here because then we got nobody to follow back to their home.
Well, also they apparently way outnumber us, so we need to play this smart. The other thing I want to ask though, Mama Bobo, did you see who they took tonight? Just the race. If it's half orcs or dwarves or elves tonight, because then it gives a better idea of where we need to go set up.
The future is always in changing. I did not see, but it was not what I was looking for as who will be taken. I paid attention to where. That was what I tried to focus my inquiries on.
So we go to the footer of the wall.
Yeah, we go to the wall, or head out from the wall. So let's head that way then. The cover of night. So yeah.
Let's go swiftly on.
Well, we do need to figure out a way to So before we go, question. Are we gonna even try to stop them from taking, or are we just trying to follow them back to free everyone?
I think we need to find out where they're going. I don't know that, depending upon how many there are, it sounds like there's a lot.
Yes.
So I don't know that we can prevent them from taking, but we need to figure out where they're going. So we need to figure out a way to go and track them back.
Agreed.
And if we can stop them from taking, that's kind of secondary, but I think it's definitely something we should try as well.
Agreed. Maybe if they break into packs, we can stop one of the smaller packs from taking people, and maybe take a prisoner for some information. If they don't break up, our plan is to follow the greater pack then. Correct? Okay.
Yep.
Any of you have any way of keeping track of them after they leave?
I have tracking skill.
Okay.
Somewhere on my character sheet.
If you're able to actually track them, that'll help. I can track them a bit, learned a few things about the wild, traveling up and down from the mountains. But you're going to be much better at it. I can just help you.
How's our gnome friend? Can you follow things in the wilds?
Sorta.
Can you follow things better than you can hide?
I could talk to ponies.
That'll work. We'll need to go and have a pony talker here shortly then.
Fantastic.
That actually could be really, really helpful.
Yes, I agree. That could be very helpful. Okay. And truthfully, I think that they speak the same language.
You're coming in and out again, Else.
They probably speak the same language, so we can rely on that. Let's get going before it's too late.
So I'd like to go and set up camp on the wall side of Tent City then.
Sure.
And set up a tent, basically set up our own little space. But then about, say 20 yards out, put up a couple of little tripwires. I'm hoping that maybe we can at least go and slow them down, or at least some of them.
Now that I see what they're doing, I pull out an animal trap from my backpack, which I just so happen to have, actually, and I set that up.
Oh, you got a pony trap.
No, it's for bears. I look back at Thorad.
I'm beginning to wonder if there's kind of a long history of Thorad being like a bear between the two of them, and maybe stuck in an animal trap when they first met.
I'm good with that story. Seems fair. He thought that I was a bear when we first met.
That you got into his bear trap.
So let's see. It actually does something.
I'm looking at it right now.
I wouldn't put it past him to actually think that I was a bear at the time, since he apparently had never seen a dwarf before that point, and I could have just been some obscure bear that was armored and.
And your snoring just cemented this idea in my head.
Exactly. You used to think that I was a bear until you found out that I was a dwarf.
A dwarf bear, Ellis. A dwarf bear.
Oh, dear Lord. Oh, gosh. Okay.
All right. So I moved the group over to the north side. You guys are welcome to move yourselves around up there.
Oh, I don't see the map.
Nor do I.
I don't see the map right now either, so I was going to go and fetch it for myself. If you want to grab it and share it with us, that'd make my life easier.
There it is.
Awesome.
Ooh, is that fog? Is that a weird effect?
We can see the fog coming in.
That is, in fact, fog moving over.
Okay. We can see the fog.
Is the top of the map the wall?
No, the wall's a ways north. This is just kind of where camp is, so.
Okay.
Want to make sure that we can see where the gates or side gates and such are, because I'm assuming if they're coming out from the wall, they're going to be needing an exit hole, and they're not just going to jump over or phase through the wall. So we're going to want to be near the gates, whether it's the main gates or the side gates.
The gates are far away from here. That's that 5-minute walk or a 2-minute jog.
Okay.
That's going to be away from here.
Never mind.
So Mama Bobo's vision had the wall in it. Don't we need to be near the wall?
Yeah, we do.
That they came from near the wall, yeah.
From near the wall, yeah. So
she could see the wall behind them.
Did she see any details of what area of the wall?
She told you what she knew.
Oh, I still need to choose my extra language, and given our party, I think I'm actually going to choose Gnomish.
And Krieg's got 3 languages, I think, that he gets to pick or something.
Yep,
I saw.
So I'm going to go and choose Gnome.
Do I need to pick those now?
No.
But I just noticed that I had that Gidley said something, and I was like, oh, it's a language I don't know. In theory, I'd probably know it because it's Gnomish. Probably. So.
Gidney's doing gnomes is this far-off, weird thing, so maybe he's the first gnome you've run into.
We didn't get out much in the reservation.
Yeah, maybe he was using a strange dialect of Gnomish there, but I'm taking Gnomish as my third.
Cool, that's fine. All right, so what kind of skill do you guys have to set up your trip lines?
I've got survival, so I can assist them. But
I have survival as well.
Cool.
And I'd have to go and use my guidance cantrip to go and assist our dwarven friend on setting them up.
I have survival.
Cool.
This sounds like a survival with a guidance going on and advantage.
Awesome. So which of us is going to make that roll? I have a +2
Guidance
total.
Looks like it's, well, that says touch, so I assume that. You touch one willing creature. Once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. It can roll the die before or after making the ability check. The spell then ends. So, who is going to be making our survival?
I think that well, I think for survival, I'm probably one of
I
the
got a
better
plus
options
5.
next to. Yeah. You go. You're better than me.
Kidney.
Okay.
So
you
go
have
ahead and give
advantage.
yourself advantage. And I put the guidance on you. I don't. That's not actually going to do it. So we'll just have you toss a d4
Yep.
on as well.
So don't forget advantage, because all of us working together is giving you advantage. 23, nice.
And then a plus 4, so 27.
No, plus
d4. 1d4.
Oh, sure. I can roll that.
And you guys do have ropes?
Yes.
Cool.
100-foot of rope.
There you go.
In my standard sag, as well as chalk and the caltrops that I buy and the.
I have no rope, just a bear trap.
Oh, and there's a bear trap set up too. Can you guys draw on this map?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
I can draw on this
Can
map.
you guys, figure out where you're setting up? I just kind of moved you over to the north side. And then go ahead and draw out, let's say, 4 squares, 4 lengths of a square that you have set up your line, and then a bear trap. So go ahead and show me where those are.
Don't actually have permission to draw.
It's actually a hunting trap is what it's called, but looking at it, it has like change and all kinds of weirdness in it.
So my intention, I would say, guys, if you guys agree, this seems, where I'm sitting now, seems to be one of the better entrances for them to come into the encampment, given the area that we're in. So this area where I'm standing right now is where I'd want us blocking off, because this is a good entrance point for them to get into the tent city.
Sure.
Okay.
Alice, go ahead and show me. And remember, these are 10-foot squares, so it's actually going to be 2 squares lengths. Go ahead and show me what 2 squares you want that line at.
Okay, this square and this square, basically between the 2 tents that let them breach in, because this is one of the wider openings for them to come into the tent city. So these 2 squares. I'll stand between the 2 of them. There you go.
So there?
Yep.
And where do you want your bear trap? And Gidney, you by all means. Alice is just the one that's...
down 1. South 1. It's more diagonal, diagonal-ish. But basically bridging between the 2 entrances, yeah. And where do you want, and Gidney, where are we putting that trap of yours?
One moment, I'm fighting the map.
Awesome.
Alright, now that I can move down here, what is the draw command?
We don't have permission to draw. I can clear drawing, but yeah, I don't have permission to draw a drawing.
Do you guys have the toggle toolbar thing at the top?
No, it's locked. We're locked on read only. That's why. So you need to unlock us on not read only.
Can you do it now?
Nope, we're still on read only.
Okay.
I'll
figure that out later.
This grid square I'm in now, that's where I would put it. Next to this, I think this is a tent.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Awesome.
And I put the hunting trap mechanic in Discord for you, Brandon.
Yeah, I took a look at it. You can always, because you have it on your character sheet, and so I just grab the dragon head and I drag it to chat, and there's a link to the hunting trap that everybody would be able to click on.
Clever.
It's very handy that way. See, and here's my armor training, for example, and people can click it and see and read how it works. And yeah, Brandon, later on I'll tell you how to do the not read only, so we'll work on that. Okay.
So go ahead and set yourselves up where you're going to be camping, basically.
I'm going to be hiding out right where I am, behind one of the tents over here. Actually, you said it's 10-foot squares. I'm gonna hide behind this one then. So that's where I'm hiding.
You're hiding.
Krieg
I thought you guys were setting up tents.
Sure.
Krieg is going to hide. And Krieg has tucked himself into a little corner where the tent entrance comes out and the tent wall is. So I'm not inside the tent, but I'm tucked in that corner to, if this entrance is used, I am preparing a sleep spell.
Okay.
To kind of funnel the them entering the encampment more, I'm going to actually build my tent up right here, because that way it'll funnel them further. So I'll create it, put my tent up, and I'll hide in my tent, peeking out, and but this point, that way we're funneling them into the entrance a little bit more.
Cool.
Into the main area.
Bellamere, what's your plan on where you want to be?
Well, if I can go and identify anything coming into camp, whether it's ghosts, kobolds, bandits, it doesn't matter. Anything coming in, I want to go and cast a fairy fire on them. And that way I'm hoping that we can go and track them as they continue doing whatever they're doing. And I'm going to try to go and disable, whether it's a horse or, whatever it is. I want to go and pull one of them off of a horse if they're on a horse. I want to get somebody down. We need somebody to question.
Agreed. Now the question is, do you want them on? They'll be able to see the fairy fire. So are you sure you want that on them? Is the question that I have for you.
I want to be able to track them in the fog.
Cool. Awesome.
My fear is that the fog might get really, really thick.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
And if I can go and cast it on them, then I know who the bad guys are as opposed to the good guys.
No, I totally agree with that. I didn't know how much we did not want to alert them right now, because these traps and tripwires, it could be that the horses, tripped on something. But if we go out and, start casting spells on them, it's going to be a lot more noticeable. Sounds like we're going to be overt, which is fine. It's awesome. I just want to be aware of that for my battle axe sakes. So yeah, I'm good. I'm ready. I'm going to back the casters up.
Keep a horse alive. I'd like to do that too, please. I think our gnomish friend here might be able to go and talk to it, and at least he claims to. And so I'm going to give him a chance to go and give that a go.
I want to cast jump on myself if I see a horse or pony-like creature.
All right. So, and Giddy, what about you? Where are you going to hide out?
I think where I'm at, actually.
Okay.
Probably here, so I could poke my head around to see if that is an acceptable square for me to be in. I don't know if it is or not.
As we're preparing for this, I'm also going to go and ask if I can make some throwing rocks for our good friend. And I want to cast light on 3 or 4 rocks for him. I say, if you hear anything out there, just start throwing rocks at them. Because if we can go and start getting some light out there where we can see where things are, that would be helpful.
Okay. And I show him my basket that is full with rocks and darts.
So you can only have light running on one object at a time, but it does last an hour.
Okay, you get 1 rock, dude. 1 hour.
I pull out the purple rock he gave me earlier. This one.
Now the fog, by all means, has been rolling in since mid-afternoon. Has gotten thicker and thicker. And as night settles in, by all means, it does definitely become a fairly thick fog.
With survival, when it started rolling in from this afternoon, are we able to tell which direction it was rolling in from, and does it make sense for the direction that's coming in
It comes from off the river.
Okay, so it makes sense. Okay.
It is something, you've been in camp and talked to people about it, and yeah, that it's something that, they deal with regularly.
Okay.
Each of you guys, as the night wears on and such, it's dark. You guys dug for a while to get your little, ropes set up and all, and people in the area just kind of figured you were setting up a tent and didn't pay much attention. and kind of turned in themselves. And everybody go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure. Whoo! Nat 20. Now, those naps did me good.
Okay.
7 + 3 is 10.
10. Okay. For Gidney and for Thorag, and Thorad, sorry. And for Bellamere, as night keeps going, and all of you are getting, kind of tired of just kind of staying awake. Naps helped, but now is the time that your body's normally used to being asleep. And
I'd
then
be
you
actively
guys,
whittling to keep me awake.
okay, you guys begin to hear a horn sound.
Hey, Frog God fans, thank you so much for watching us today. Do you want to see more content? Make sure you subscribe and click that little bell button to be notified.
Don't forget to leave a comment about the content that you want to see on the channel. And if you want to keep up with Frog God Game releases, check out the links in the description below for Facebook, Twitter, and Discord.
And if you want to see more content from Brandon and myself, check us out on Babies with Knives podcast, where we focus on character creation, crash courses, and actual plays for a wide variety of tabletop role-playing games.
And everybody, remember, have fun in the pond.
I now understand where his good berries come from, or his rocks come from. I'm kind of scared of ever eating a good berry of his now.
Why? It's a moonstone.
Because apparently the rocks are good berries after they expired in his mind. So I kind of wonder what he's casting good berry on in the first place. I feel bowel obstructions coming.
I think it has to do with 2 fingers and a nose.
Oh dear, this is going to be an ongoing thing, isn't it? Stick your fingers up the dwarf's nose.
We need some more good berries.
Oh my gosh, that's gross. Okay, got it. Don't eat the gnome's good berries. This is
I need them myself.
Oh my gosh.
Harvesting from the dwarf.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's disturbing to me.
That is more than a little bit disturbing.